into our CitrusTV studios for another episode of Beat the Bookie. I'm Braden Reed, and folks, what a week it is to wager some dollars. The most bet sporting event in the U.S., the Super Bowl. You know the matchup by now. It's Big Bad Mahomes and the Chiefs up against the 49ers. It'll be a great one. I've got some great picks for you today, but first, some kudos to hand out to friend of the program, Jesse Cook. The young man profited more than 30 beans betting on college basketball last week, and the hits just keep on coming for Jesse. Mr. Cook looked into his crystal ball, believed in the Bearcats, and took them outright against a ranked Texas Tech team. That bet alone won him $34. Jesse, I commend your efforts. Now, it's still pretty early in the reign of this BTB crew, but looking at our full standings now, Jesse Cook up there at $32 in profit. Jack Gordon, though, bringing the show below the even mark. $37 lost for Jack. We're sitting at around $5 lost right now. Two roads kind of diverge here for me. Teetering right on the edge of positive for the show. I fully intend to take us into the green this weekend. So without further ado, let's get right into the big game.
Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! Show me the money!
Now, these two teams have had totally different seasons, but find themselves in the same spot. And a lot's been said, firstly, about this Niners team. The Brock Purdy discourse, the Christian McCaffrey touchdown streak, Kyle Shanahan's brilliance. It's a great team. I get it. I do wonder, though, if we're overrating them a little bit. They got crushed on national TV against the Ravens, beat the Commanders, okay. Rested their starters in Week 18, lost to the Rams, then have escaped against the Packers and the Lions by the skin of their teeth. The Chiefs, on the other hand, have taken a totally different path. After that Raiders loss, we were left wondering if this team would even win a playoff game, but surprise, surprise, Patrick Mahomes is playing in another Super Bowl, and they have made him an underdog again. The Niners giving 2 in the hook. When will Vegas learn? Mahomes is 11-1-1 against the spread as an underdog and has covered in 5 straight games. There's trends going against the Niners, too. The team with a better record is 1-15 against the spread in the Super Bowl, going all the way back to 2003. And the last 3 teams to be favored in every game they've played, like San Fran has been this year, has lost the game straight up. I won't go that far. I think this game is close the whole way. I certainly think the Chiefs could win it outright. I'm putting $15 on Kansas City to cover the 2.5 in this one. I'm going to look at the total now, sitting at 47.5. Vegas expecting about a 25-22-ish game, but I'm going to warn you to not fall into the trap of getting tunnel vision with the offenses in this game. They're great, sure, I get it, but you have to look at what these defenses are and how they've been playing. Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs just held the MVP in Lamar Jackson at 10 points. 49ers have the linebacker talent to play with Travis Kelce and force that Kansas City receiving core to beat them. The Chiefs don't want to get that Niners offense a lot of possession, so don't be surprised if we see a lot of Isaiah Pacheco and them just trying to shorten this game up. It won't be the only under I take today, and I hear your boos, I get it, but I lean less than 47.5 in this one, $10 down on that bet. Now let's take a look at what our head honchos think about my picks. That's a great picture from London. That's the night the Eagles took Jalen Carter at 9 overall. Great night for me. 3-2, Reed and the C-Suite, or I guess the hosts, I should say, are 3-2 overall. The C-Suite, same record at 3-2, and they're fading my picks. You know, you really do hate to see that. They're taking the 49ers to cover 2.5, and they're taking the over in that game. Now, I'm not the only one making some picks today. We have boots on the ground out in Las Vegas. I'm doling out $15 to my good friends Ethan, Jack, and Ben for them to play with. Fellas, anything on the board catch your eye?
Thanks, Braden, and welcome to Radio Row in Las Vegas at Super Bowl LVIII. We're in front of our unofficial partner at the FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Ethan Frank. That's Jack Gordon. That's Ben Spector. We're here for a little Beat the Bookie prop bet picking. So, Jack, I'll start with you. What intrigues you this week?
Well, the way I see this one playing out is kind of that typical Chiefs late game comeback. It's what they do best, right? Which means I'm taking Patrick Mahomes to throw a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Yes is plus 132, and I love those odds.
Those are good odds. Jack is looking to make some money on Patrick Mahomes, last year's Super Bowl MVP. Are you feeling the Patrick love?
Oh, I'm feeling the Patrick love, but in a bit of a different sense. You talked about that touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. It's going to Travis Kelce. Here's the catch, though. Pun fully intended. That's going to be Kelce's second touchdown catch of the game. I got Travis Kelce 2+ touchdowns, $5 plus 650 odds. I love it.
That's a bit of a long shot, but you got some good odds on there. High risk, high reward.
You gotta have fun with your money.
That's what Ben likes to do. If Ben could, he would parlay all of our picks together. But we are not allowing him to do that. I'm going to go. You guys are going positive touchdowns. I'm going to go hater a little bit. I'm going to go Brock Purdy over half an interception at plus 100. So pretty much even odds. 5 to win another 5. The Chiefs have intercepted Tua Tagovailoa and Lamar Jackson so far this postseason. I think they do it again on Sunday at Allegiant Stadium. So you got 3 $5 bets to return a boatload of cash for you back in Syracuse, Braden.
Ethan, I appreciate it. Jack, I really like the bet. Some late game at Patrick Mahomes heroics. Can't go wrong with that. We'll keep it rolling here in studio. Move on to my 3 best bets for the Super Bowl. Some props I like, and I'm going to go back to the underwell here. And yes, I apologize, but hear me out on this one. I'm going to the second half under here, and let me explain why. Since 2005, the Chiefs are the most profitable team on this bet outright. Just this season, if you bet the second half under on every Chiefs game, you'd be up more than 1,400%. The next most profitable team, the 2017 Falcons, whose offensive coordinator was, you guessed it, Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers head coach now. I don't use the term lock lightly. I don't like to throw it around, but throw away the key on this one. $20 on the second half under of 23.5 in the Super Bowl. Going over to a player prop now, I really like George Kittle to have more than 50 receiving yards. San Francisco obviously has all the weapons in the world, but at around even value here, this line is too good to pass up. Kittle's gone over 50 yards in 11 games this season, and I fully expect Spags and the Chiefs to try and heat Brock Purdy up and make him throw it quick to the safety blanket in Kittle. $10 on the corn-fed Iowa boy to go for more than 50 in this game. Now for my final best bet, I'm going to the QBs for a little matchup bet. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes passing yards spread against Brock Purdy. The line set at 15.5 in favor of Mahomes. I'm siding with arguably the best quarterback in the history of the sport on this one. Now sure, there is a world where Purdy's weapons are just too much for the Chiefs defense, and the drip finally stops for Mahomes, dragging along KC's subpar group. But like I said earlier, who am I to bet against the guy? 10 doubloons on Mahomes passing yards spread at 15.5 against Purdy. Now I'll move away from the Super Bowl quickly for a little future bet, and I'm looking over to the NHL. My beloved Philadelphia Flyers have been playing well above expectation this year and currently sit in a playoff spot at 3rd in the Metro Division. Despite that, they're plus 150 to make the playoffs right now, and I get it. Vegas is assuming this young, scrappy team, the Flyers, will have the bottom fall out, but to take a page out of Lee Corso's book, not so fast. Philly's getting one of its better goal scorers back from injury in Owen Tippett, and while they're in a bit of a rut right now, the development is clearly there, and this team is going to get better as the regular season winds down. I trust this team. I trust John Tortorella, so $10 on the Flyers to make the playoffs at plus 150. Now let's take a look at Jack and Jesse's future picks that they had. Jack Gordon picked Isaiah Pacheco to have the first touchdown in this game. I like that pick. I think there's a chance that Pacheco or Christian McCaffrey could win Super Bowl MVP. And then Jesse Cook threw down $30 on Boston University to win the men's ice hockey championship this year. That would pay out a ton of money. I'm not so sure about Jesse Cook on that one. I have the Flyers, of course, to make the playoffs this season. So that'll do it for our futures. And we'll wrap things up with a parlay as we always do here on Beat the Bookie, but I'm not going to get crazy here. I'm only going with 2 legs. I'm going under Rashee Rice's line of 67.5 receiving yards. Rice has emerged for the Chiefs, but don't expect Niners DC Steve Wilks to let Rice and Mahomes take the top off his defense. It'll be a lot of underneath throws, so the catches might be there, but I don't expect a ton of yards for Rice. I'm also taking Brock Purdy under 1.5 touchdown passes. Kansas City has only allowed 2 or more TD passes in 4 games this year, and Purdy has only thrown 1 in each of the playoff games he's played so far this year. I don't expect that to change on the biggest stage. The lights might be a little too bright for Brock Nation. $10 on a parlay of those 2 picks wins you a modest $23. Now let's get a quick summary of all my picks right here. I got the Chiefs to cover the 2.5 against the Niners. I think there's a chance that Kansas City wins this game outright, but I am done betting against Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. I also have the under in this game, and I know unders stink, but I'm going with my gut here. I think this one is low scoring all throughout. Jack Gordon has Patrick Mahomes with some late game heroics. He's got him with a 4th quarter touchdown pass. Ben Spector took Travis Kelce for 2+ touchdowns. Taylor Swift's going to be flying over from Japan for this game. At plus 650, it is certainly a long shot. Ben could make us a lot of money there. Then Ethan Frank has Brock Purdy over half an interception. I like that one as well. I've got the second half under too, doubling down on the unders. I got $20 big on that one. I got George Kittle to go over 50 receiving yards as well. I got Patrick Mahomes to throw for 16 or more yards than Brock Purdy does. Also got my Flyers making the NHL playoffs, of course. And then for my parlay, just a 2-legger, I got Rashee Rice under 67.5 yards and Brock Purdy under 1.5 touchdowns. That'll do it for us here at Beat the Bookie. A huge thank you to our producer team of Jordan and Arnav and our special guests, Ethan, Jack, and Ben. Enjoy the game. Please gamble responsibly, and remember, the journey to $1,000 begins with a single bet. We'll see you next time.